Go. Alright, welcome back to Nick Lang's Comic Corner, Classic Legends Known Classics. This is episode number 3193, and episode number 3087. These two trades in particular, I wanted to review the last few days, but just time keeps getting in the way, but I'm going to do this right now. I didn't do it earlier because basically I just did 4 straight videos. I didn't feel like I needed to do 5 in a row. So, here are here. Now, these two trades are actually we're going to be due in the next couple days, but I hit renew just in case. So, first discussing Scarlet Witch by Steve Lenz, Volume 3, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Yep, this is a 6-issue miniseries released, I think, just like a year ago, I think it was. I think it was a year ago because they had to stop the Scarlet Witch book just to release this damn book. Yeah, and the reason for this book's existence, the reason why this miniseries had to be released, is for the 6th anniversary of the character's debut. Yeah, that is seriously the reason why they had to do this. Yep. This came out, was last year. Yep, last year. So, a lot of this book is dealing with, well, the Wizard, who, of course, Wanda calls Bentley. And he's like, that's not my name. My name is Wizard. I think they changed my name. Yes, and one of the villains in this book is a Fantastic Four villain who was called the Grieve End of All Things. Yes, this was the character Dan Slott created for his run for Fantastic Four. Why in the world they decided to have this woman pop up in the pages in this miniseries, I have no idea. She pops up in the first, actually I think it's like 4 issues in the miniseries. Yeah, it's only 4 issues, not 6. Sorry about that. Yeah, so there's also this new group called the Fight for 100. Yeah, and they're literally pretty much basically the main villains of this whole book. And the members are basically the Wizard and, like, drones. And, of course, deal with them. And, of course, we had the Vision. Vision show up here, too. It's a quite interesting miniseries. Of course, Monette shows up here, too, because why not? It's, like I said, it's only here just to celebrate 6 years of these two characters. Of course, Marvel did the same thing with Black Widow and Hawkeye to celebrate their 6th anniversary as well. Weirdly enough, if you're really curious, does this trade here also collect? Now, believe it or not, this trade also collects, aside from this miniseries, it also collects their debut appearance of X-Men number 4, which is from, actually, it's the X-Men Volume 1 number 4, released back in 1964. Yep. It's like, last year was like 16th anniversary for some characters. Like, really? It's been 6 years since these characters debut? Yeah, instead of like doing like, I guess because not big of a characters like some other ones are, I guess the reason why they get miniseries is because they're not the big of characters as like Spider-Man or even... Now, believe it or not, guess who also... Now, believe it or not, Daredevil's anniversary, his 60th was actually 2 years ago, so we didn't get one for him. Now, was like any other 6th anniversary miniseries released last year, so Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow, and... Now, surprisingly, you think, okay, like, like, was in there, like, big anniversaries last year, aside from 6 years of this book, and, of course, Black Widow and Hawkeye? No. You might be thinking, what about Silver Surfer? Yeah, what year did he make his debut? Believe it or not, it was December of 1965, so this year is technically his 6th anniversary. I don't know exactly what's planned for his anniversary this year. I have no idea. it is something. What about Defenders? Well, Marvel didn't do much for their anniversary a few years ago. I think they did like a mini-series for them, but that's been pretty much it when it comes to them, per se. Yes. So, yeah, Severus Galactus actually is this year, but okay, so there's also, last year was 50 Years Deathlock. Yep, that was another one of their anniversaries last year. I think it was also Iron Fist last year, believe it or not. Yes, yeah, I think he had one last year too. Which is interesting. Yes, Iron Fist had one. You think did Luke Cage have a anniversary last year? I don't think it was 1970. Oh, it was 1972. Okay, so his anniversary was a few years ago, but Marvel did. I don't think Marvel did anything for his anniversary. I don't think it was even a mini-series for him. It's like, yeah, let's put out these mini-series for these characters. Wolverine, they at least did some stuff celebrating his anniversary, but it's like I think it was also last year was like, I think it was last year, I think it was. It was like 50 years Wolverine. It was also like 20 years of X-23 last year as well. But this book, I liked it really. I really enjoyed it. But next book that came after this was another Scarlet Witch book by Steve Orlando. But sadly, the book will be also ending after 10 issues to launch a Vision, Scarlet Witch and Vision miniseries. Now, those of you thinking, why the heck did Marvel do this for? Why would they just... Okay, so they give Scarlet Witch a brand new ongoing, and it got ended after only 10 issues for reasons for a relaunch. Actually, just ended just recently for a new Vision Scarlet Witch miniseries. You'd be thinking, like, is there some special... Okay, so... Okay, apparently the reason for this miniseries' existence is... Get this. You're going to love this. So, the reason for that miniseries existence, because apparently this year is the 50th anniversary of their wedding? The marriage that lasted maybe 20 years before they got divorced? Yes. I'm like, okay. I guess Marvel picked something pretty random. But the miniseries, like I said, this book was really good. Give it roughly a 9 out of 10. Next up, I saw this book like, oh boy. It's another Ryan North Fantastic Four book. But this one is infamous because this happened to contain a very infamous issue that came out last year. And I saw this like, oh god, not this issue. Yep. Well, first that we have is Fantastic Four by Ryan North, Volume 3. Aliens, Gods, and Alternate Earths. And sadly put, basically 24, which is published in this trade here, would be Alex Ross's final cover he would do for this book. Because after this, what did he do? He mostly worked on Mortal Thor. He did the opening issue for cover for Weapon X-Men. But that was it. But now since Mortal Thor ended, now he doesn't do any covers right now. Not that I know of. So you have Carlos Gomez on issues 23, 25. 26 is Ivan Morella. That's 26. There's also co-artwork duties for... Basically, this book contains 23 to 28. Stephen Cummings does 27, 28. With Rain Future, who does also the ink for 28. The cover art, like I said, basically 2024 is Alex Ross. Joshua Cassera and Dane White does issue 25, 20. And Joshua Cassera is a good artist. I do like him. So, basically, the first couple issues are not terrible. They just basically have just... So... Basically, the last couple issues, the first 2 issues in here, are basically stuff to do with, like, just after the events of Blood Hunt. We have Johnny Storm with his sister and Ben's adopted children. Hang on, New York City, and basically Blood Hunt is going on. Yep, Blood Hunt. And you're thinking, what? Seriously? By the way, this is part of Volume 7 for the book. Yeah, it's like this takes place during the events of Blood Hunt because of all the vampires. So basically, this is an aftermath issue. But aside from that, these two issues are actually not bad. The following issue basically just... Yeah, so the aftermath of Blood Hunt. There's this weird moment here where Reed's head gets deformed. Which, yeah, that's never happened before. Is he even like, Reed? That should be possible. Yeah, he only splits open, so... Then he goes to his garage at the Baxter building, despite the fact, wait, was this place destroyed at the start of the series? Wait, how is it back? You're probably thinking like, oh, they must have built the damn thing. And but they must have built it because a lot of this book is simply them in another town. Where they're basically staying in, like, I believe it was Ben's and Between house. That's what they were staying a lot of the time in this book. And it's like this book, oh, the Baxter building has been fixed. I'm like, when the heck this happened? Okay, so apparently it was restored in issue 15. I probably missed this, but that's when it came back. So it's back now. Those of you curious, like, it's only this fine. It came back in these two issues, and then for some weird reason, it's not in the next few issues. It's coming back for 29, but you're probably thinking it's going to feature in the last few issues of this book. Well, it is not featured in issue 30. Nope, not featured at all. Because, of course, go back to Arizona. This new book just recently came out, like, a little over a month ago. Oh yeah, and also the book is safe to end really soon. Yes. For some okay, so I think I might know the reason why. Some people are like, why would you relaunch the book with just the same writer, just changing the artist? Well, it's a common Marvel tactic with this. So, nobody's bringing this up when it comes to relaunch. But there's a reason why. Their movie's coming out that very month. So, we gotta have a new Fantastic Four #1 released the same month as the movie. And if you're really curious, when the first Iron Man movie came out, was there a new #1 for Iron Man come out that very year? Yes. Yes, definitely for that one. What about the second one, which came out in 2010? No. Not Iron Man 2. Okay, what about the third movie? Nope, just the first movie. Okay, what about Thor? Okay, first movie. Yep. Second movie, which came out in 2013. No, not that one. What about Ragnarok, which came out in 2017? No. Love and Thunder. Nope. Sometimes it happens the same month it comes out, or at least the same year. Avengers. Nope. Age of Ultron. Yes. Okay. What about Endgame? Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War, yes. Endgame, no. Excuse me. Okay, what about Fantastic Four? Did any of the Fantastic movies come out? Did they come out basically when a relaunch happened the same year? First two movies, no. Still had Jupiter's numbering. What about the third movie? Here's a surprise for you. Yes, there definitely was. There actually ended a year. They didn't come back for a few years. Okay, so Captain America, this only happened in the first movie. What about Winter Soldier? No. Well, the volume of Captain America ended that very year, but wasn't relaunched the same year. It wasn't relaunched, it was launched in the very next year. Okay, what about Civil War? Surprisingly, no. The most recent movie, Brave the World. Yep, they did. They relaunched it, so only a couple times with Captain America. Thor's happened once. Iron Man's happened once, as far as I could tell. Yeah, at least once for Iron Man. Avengers, at least a lot of these movies usually happen once for a relaunch, but not all the time. Doctor Strange, no, the comic had been launched for over a year by the time the first movie came out. Second movie, comic was over at that point. There was Strange comic early on after that. So that is my personal theory of why the book is going to be launched in the month of July, because the first half is coming out that very month. So we have this little merge thing of Johnny starting to do his own thing, like, oh, let's go to this portal and have Fantastic Four look a little different per se, and then like we go 24 find some alien octopus stuff. Everything's going to fine for this book until we reach issue number. Okay. I want to check something here because basically he was asking about something here. Alright. Okay, so yeah, the more. And then I saw this issue again, like, oh no, not this issue. The issue that came out during the month of Marvel's weirdness and somewhat bad comics that month. So, in the Aftermath of Blood Hunt, we got a lot of variant where it's surrounded by a big freaking dome. And then, like, what is called Starcross. So they get sent to this other world where there's some stuff happening here. And then we have these centipede people who don't speak English. One of whom basically starts a conversation with Johnny Storm. And I should point out, though, it's a centipede woman who falls for Johnny Storm. And then they hang out together throughout a lot of the comic, where she kisses Johnny Storm, and it's very implied Johnny slept with her. A centipede woman. And it's like, yeah, fix the ship up, set back normal. Yeah, this is Earth, whatever. And then, like, yeah, he looks, oh yeah, bug girl. Yeah, kiss the bug girl. Yeah, do a bug and don't see the girl ever again. I gotta say, out of all the issues I had read for this volume for Fantastic Four, 25 is quite possibly the worst comic of this entire run. Not by artwork. This book was awful. Like, my God, this book was awful. Like, what's the point connection to this book being bad? Johnny Storm sleeping with a bug, sleeping with an alien centipede woman. I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, whichever the editor of this book should have looked this story again, and probably had said to Ryan North, they should have said this. Excuse me, Ryan, can you alter this aliens to look more human-like, to look like bugs? Because this is freaking disgusting. The implied of Johnny Storm sleeping with an alien centipede woman. So disgusting. Yeah, the cover of 26 is just gross, but book gets better after this. But there's no denying, out of this because it's 533. 25. This book is so bad. Ugh, I hate that. I didn't like the issue it came out. Came out September September last year, where it's a comic of weirdness. It's the month of like weird / bad comics came out that month. This also the same month we actually had a ghostwriter riding a wheelchair. And you're like, are you freaking kidding me? A wheelchair? Not a motorcycle. Oh no, or a horse. A freaking wheelchair. It is by far one of the most weirdest things I've seen. And that's not the only weird thing that came out that month. Oh gosh, that was also sort of the end of Zeb Wells' run. Let's see. What other one basically came out that month, basically, that was just so bad or just plain weird when it comes to Marvel? Let's see, besides that one. And the Ghost Rider book, obviously. It's not that one. Oh yeah, there's Dazzler, where the writer is trying to turn into a lesbian for no reason. I didn't mind the 50th anniversary one-shot when it comes to Deathlock. I'll probably review it at some point. I think that was it for bad comics. I remember. I saw anyways that month. Yeah, December was not the good month for comics. So moving on to issue 26, where Johnny, and this whole issue is focused on Johnny and Reed, where for some random reason they need to do experiments. So let's basically dig a hole in the basement floor for some weird reason. Oh, and yeah, basically talking about how muscular you guys are. And it's called Blood Brothers, and it's basically them summoning ghosts in the basement. So then, of course, after they deal with this, Reed uses his hands to seal up the ghost, and then, like, okay, let's seal up the hole in the floor. After all this exorcism stuff, and they seal it with dirt and concrete, like, oh, everything's perfectly fine. And everyone gets home from Halloween, it's like, why are you covered in blood? Wait, what's the stuff you covered with? It's just weird. Yeah. Oh yeah, then Johnny sleeps outside in the tent by himself. 27 is all about the Mole Man. Oh, by the way, this is about Nikki Masters Grimm. Ben Grimm's adopted daughter who's a Skrull. Which, yeah, kids know she's a Skrull and she, like, does her shape-shifting powers. The whole thing is basically all about trust. I actually like this issue a lot better than issue 25 and 26. Because the issue was good. Then 28 is basically... It's an issue where... Get this. So, Reed and Sue are contacted by Dane Waltman, the Black Knight, where he apparently has got magical powers for some weird reason, and transports Reed and Sue back in time to World War I. And you're like, why the heck are they in World War I? I have no freaking idea. It's by far a really weird premise. Oh, and Dane decided to put them in the bodies of 2 World War I soldiers for reasons. And this whole thing is about getting a blade. And it turns out this actually isn't Dan Waltman. It's actually Dr. Doom himself. And yeah, and the whole point of this issue is just to trap Reed and Sue in some ball thing, and then they come back in the worlds under the control of Dr. Doom. End of the book. I'd say of the 5 issues in this book, Yes, 5 issues. I like 23 and 24, and I like 20, and I like 27, 28. I did not like 25 and 26. I thought 26 was weird, but it wasn't bad. But the worst comic is 25. So, I give these following issues as rating. 24, 23, 24, 27, 28. I give all these issues a 9 out of 10. For 25, I give this book a... because this book was so bad. I give it quite possibly the lowest rating I've ever given a comic book for Fantastic Four. I give issue 25 of this run a 0.5 out of 10. The book is that bad. The only thing that's good about this book is the artwork. 26, I give that a 4. It's a little better, but just weird. It's like, the book is called Fantastic Four, and yet we have spotlight issues for no apparent reason. Like, we have to basically do this for a few issues, not, focus on the actual team itself, just spotlight issues. If you want to do a team-up book, do a frickin' team-up book. Don't use the main book as a team-up book. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it to review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, if I get time to tonight, I'm just going to be basically talking about the next episode for I've been killing Slime's for many years. Because they released 2 episodes today, because a couple weeks ago they actually delayed an episode, so they're making it for release 2 episodes today. Okay? See you. Bye.